God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "Stay until the end of this message, because it didn't reach you by chance. There is something heaven wants you to know right now. My child, before time existed, I had already seen you. Before the first ray of sunlight touched the earth, I already knew every curve of your path. None of your steps are new to me, none of your fears are unknown, and none of your tears have been ignored. I am not surprised by tomorrow, for I have already walked through it and touched with my own hands every detail that awaits you. Do you feel ready for a deep change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes, all we need is a small step of faith to open the doors to abundance, peace, and the blessings that God has already prepared for us. A simple 1-minute prayer can be the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the inside and reflects on the outside. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, click the link pinned in the first comment. There you will find a simple, love-guided practice that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. What now seems uncertain, foggy, or painful, for me is a safe road, drawn with love, built with purpose, and covered with promises. What frightens you is already a fulfilled promise to me. What now makes you doubt will soon become a testimony of my power. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. Nothing escapes my control, nothing eludes my sight. While you wait, I prepare. While you pray, I move. While you cry, I write new beginnings. Trust, because nothing that is coming is outside of my hands. I am the God who writes before it happens, who prepares before it appears, who wins before the battle begins. There are days when your heart gets lost in uncertainty, and you wonder if there truly is a purpose in so much silence. But I tell you, my child, every second of waiting is filled with meaning and purpose. The time that seems empty to you is the very time when I work the hardest, moving the unseen, aligning what you still cannot understand. I am shaping you from within, strengthening your roots, healing your deepest wounds, and expanding your faith so you can carry the greatness of what I have promised. My child, you are not standing still, you are being prepared. Silence is not absence, it is construction. Answers are being formed where your eyes cannot yet see, and paths are being opened where there still seems to be no way. Doors are being crafted for the keys I have already placed in your hands. So do not fear the space between what you asked for and what you receive, for it is in that space that I transform you. What seems like a pause is part of the plan, and what seems like a delay is simply the perfect timing of a promise being clothed in eternity. Comment: God is working in silence, and I rest in Him. I know your tears, each one of them has a name before me. Even before they fell, I had already wiped them away with my love. None of your pain is wasted, because every drop of sorrow produces something precious within you: wisdom to understand, compassion to embrace, and faith to endure. I know when the wind blows strong and everything seems out of control, but still, I remain firm, guiding your boat. You see waves, but I see destiny. You feel fear, but I see purpose. And when the world tries to make you believe that you are alone, remember, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23 verse 4. I do not abandon you in the valleys, I walk with you through them. When fear tries to paralyze you, look at me, for I am the God who walks on water. While you tremble, I remain steady, while you doubt, I declare victory over you. No storm is eternal when the commander of the sea is in the boat. Be still, for I am in control, and no force can sink what I have decided to sustain. Comment, even in the valley, God walks with me. My child, you think there are delays, but what you call delay, I call divine synchronization. Everything I prepare has a perfect time, a precise purpose, and an eternal result. While you desire haste, I see the future and know the exact moment when everything must bloom. What looks stagnant is only being aligned with my perfect plan. You look at the now and see waiting, but I see maturation. Promises are never lost in time, they mature within it. Every passing second is part of the seed that is about to sprout. When I make you wait, it's because I'm building in you a strong enough structure to sustain what is coming. Waiting is not punishment, it is strategy. It is in that time that I separate the impatient from the prepared, the anxious from the confident, the doubter from the believer. When you understand that God's timing is never late, you learn to rest even in the silent days. Because the one who trusts in God's timing will never be put to shame. What comes from me arrives complete, mature, and blessed. And when it comes, you will understand why you had to wait, because what I was forming was far greater than what you imagined. Comment, I wait because I know God is never late. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My child, remember that I am the beginning and the end of all things. I saw your first breath, and I already know the ending of your story. Nothing you live through is by chance, everything is part of a plan I designed with perfection and love. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5. You see fragments, but I see the whole. When the path feels confusing and your heart gets lost among questions and pain, remember that nothing escapes my sight. The tear that falls today will one day become a testimony of strength. What wounds you now will one day be a reason for gratitude. Every waiting season, every detour, every closed door was necessary to lead you to the destiny I prepared for you. Everything I allow has a purpose, to shape you, strengthen you, and draw you closer to me. And even if today you don't understand the reason for certain pains, one day you will look back and see that each of them pushed you toward the fulfillment of my promise. I wrote your story with intentions of peace, and the ending that awaits you is glorious because it was written by my hands. Comment, God has already written the end of my story, and it will be glorious. My child, there were places I had to remove you from, people I had to distance you from, and dreams I had to interrupt, not out of cruelty, but out of love. Every separation was an act of protection, not punishment. If I allowed something to be cut away, it's because there was something precious in you that needed to be preserved. Sometimes my love manifests as absence, and my care arrives wrapped in silence. Do not confuse my silence with abandonment, for while you mourned what was lost, I was preparing what would bring you fulfillment. When a door closes, it is not the end, it is the beginning of a new path designed by my hands. Every no I gave you was a redirection away from something that would have hurt you later. I saw dangers your eyes could not see, and that's why I protected you from certain routes. Learn to trust that when I take something away, it's because I desire to fill you. When I am silent, it's because I am acting, and when I distance, it's because I am guiding. Nothing is ever lost when you are in me. What once seemed like loss will tomorrow be remembered as deliverance. Rest, because what comes from me never brings confusion, only peace. Comment: God's plans are greater than mine. You are the work of my hands, beloved child, and everything I have done in you carries an eternal purpose. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. You were not created to walk in the shadows of fear but to shine in the light of faith. Within you are gifts that have yet to bloom and talents breathed directly from my Spirit. Do not hide what I have given you, for the world needs to see the light I placed within you. The time has come to rise, to leave behind your insecurities, and to walk with confidence. I have already released angels to open the paths that once seemed closed, and every resistance that held you back is being removed. What is coming is not improvisation, it is the fulfillment of what I promised when you still did not understand the greatness of the purpose you carry. I saw your faithfulness when no one else did, I heard your prayers through your weariness, and I noted every act of faith done in silence. Now it is time to blossom. Comment: I was chosen and set apart by God. How many times did you think you were alone? How many times did you look around and everything felt empty? Yet while you thought you were abandoned, I was surrounding you with my love. There is no such thing as loneliness when my presence dwells within you. Even on the nights when your tears were your only comfort, I was there, collecting each one and turning them into strength. The voices that hurt you, the doors that closed, and the moments when you doubted yourself, I used them all to mature you. Nothing you have lived through has been in vain. Those old wounds that seemed never to heal are being touched by my hand now. I am restoring your identity, reminding you who you truly are, chosen, loved, and protected. The strength born from pain will now be your light. What once knocked you down will now become the reason you rise. Your weary soul will be renewed, and the hope that seemed lost will begin to pulse again. I am breathing new life into your heart, filling it with courage, faith, and purpose. Comment: God never left me, He was with me all along. My child, listen closely. Nothing you face is greater than what I have already conquered. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world, you will have tribulation. But take heart, I have overcome the world. John chapter 16 verse 33. I have already walked through your tomorrow, removed the thorns, and planted victories where today there is still doubt. Every step you take is under my direction, and even when you don't understand, I am still working on your behalf. You will see doors open before your eyes and opportunities arise where once there was only desert. I have blessed the days that have not yet come and placed signs of my faithfulness in every sunrise. You will lack nothing, for I am your shepherd. Do not fear the future, for the future belongs to me, and I will lead you through it with eternal love. Every battle already has its outcome, and victory has been declared even before you began to fight. Remain firm, because what is coming will be living proof of my power in your life. Comment, I trust in the God who has already conquered my tomorrow. My child, listen carefully, the time of your restoration has already begun. Everything that once seemed motionless is now shifting under my command. What appeared dead is being revived by the breath of my spirit. I am rewriting the chapters that were marked by pain and disappointment, turning them into testimonies of grace and redemption. The tears that once watered the ground of your waiting are now giving life to a harvest of victory. You were prepared in silence for a public season of fulfillment. Every hidden battle, every moment you felt forgotten, was preparation for the greatness that is now unfolding. I am healing your memories, redeeming your story, and setting before you doors that no one will be able to close. The very places that once broke you will now witness your breakthrough. So rise up, breathe deeply, and move forward with confidence, for I have already walked through your tomorrow and marked the path with signs of triumph. My favor goes before you, my strength surrounds you, and my promise will not fail. What I began in you, I will complete. Your story will not end in pain but in glory, because I, the Lord, have written every word of it with my own hands. Comment, I believe, God has already prepared my victory. Stay until the end of this message, because what you are about to read is not a coincidence, it is a divine reminder written for the exact season of your life. There are paths I have strengthened beneath your feet long before you even took your first step. When the wind rises against you, it is not to destroy you but to clear away what no longer serves your purpose. When leaves fall, they make room for new fruit. When something collapses, it is not a sign of loss but a sign of renewal, because I have already designed something far better. Do not fear the winds that seem to oppose you, for I am the one who created you to stand firm through them. Even before you were born, I placed you within my eternal story. What others call coincidence, I call purpose. Nothing escapes my perfect plan. You are not a lost traveler trying to decode the map of life. You are on a divine route, guided by hands that never fail. Human directions can mislead, but the compass of my spirit never points away from destiny. Even when you cannot see the signs, I am the one who leads you. When you sense darkness, remember that I am the light waiting at the end of your path. When you wonder how everything will unfold, I smile, for I already know. I have walked ahead of you, preparing victories where you once saw uncertainty. There are blessings waiting for their perfect moment to bloom, treasures buried in the soil of your patience, and doors that will open not by your strength but by the authority of my voice. I have already dressed your future in beauty. I have taken the ashes of difficult moments and turned them into testimonies of grace and growth. I have built bridges over rivers you have yet to reach, and I have planted gardens in the deserts that today seem barren. I do not create small paths for those destined to live great things. You think you are arriving late, but you are standing at the exact point of my divine timing. The human clock obsesses over seconds, but I work through eternity. What seems like delay to you is, in my eyes, the perfect moment when everything aligns. If you could see through my perspective, you would lay down every anxiety and breathe freely. You would understand that no step you take is random and no detour is wasted. Every delay carries meaning, and every closed door holds preparation. Describe in one word what it feels like to know your steps are guided, and let that word be trust. While many look toward the future with fear, you can rest, because I have already walked through it. I have faced what you consider impossible and have conquered what you fear. By the time you arrive, you will not find chaos waiting, only the evidence of my presence that came before you. With each sunrise, remember this truth: I have gone ahead of you, arranging protection, planting opportunities, and strengthening promises before you even awoke to face the day. Nothing about your future has been left to chance. I do not improvise, I orchestrate. I am never caught off guard, I anticipate. Before the storm begins, I have already prepared your shelter. Before the question forms in your mind, I have already written the answer. Before the road appears, I have already laid the foundation beneath it. Your confidence must not rest on what you see, but on what I have already completed before your arrival. When you stand upon my promises, you will find stability where there once was fear. Do not gaze at tomorrow with dread, look at it with expectancy, for it carries the fingerprints of my faithfulness. The winds may blow, and the waters may rise, but nothing will erase what I have written over your destiny. Victory is not a distant possibility, it is a guaranteed reality within my plan. You are not walking into the unknown, you are walking into the fulfillment of what has already been prepared. Like a father who prepares the home before his child's return, I have prepared your future with love, precision, and care. I have not done it carelessly, every detail bears the mark of my intentional hand. Where you now see closed doors, you will soon find wide passages in their place. Where pain seems to have built a fortress, joy will soon flow freely. Where questions torment your heart, testimonies will rise as answers. Do not let fear dictate your steps, walk with assurance, not because you understand everything, but because I have already walked through every uncertainty before you. Your story will not end in defeat, for I have already written a conclusion of victory. What feels distant today will become reality tomorrow. What seems heavy now will soon be light, and what causes pain today will one day become a reason for gratitude. I have already traveled through the days ahead of you, leaving signs of triumph so that you may never forget that you are not alone in this journey. I take care of everything, the seen and the unseen, the spoken and the silent. When you step into a new day, I am already in the next after that, and in the last one waiting beyond the horizon. While you are still learning to trust, I have already completed the work I began in you. There is no curve I have not measured, no crossing I have not illuminated with signs that only faith can interpret. Even your smallest sighs are heard, and the faintest hope within you is protected. My attention over your life does not waver, and my commitment to your story does not fade. Every detail is guarded with the precision of eternal love, the kind that knows you deeper than you know yourself. There is no prayer too small, no tear too quiet, no dream too impossible for me. I am the one who transforms fragments into futures, who turns detours into directions, who molds waiting into wisdom. The moments that felt like loss were actually seeds of purpose. The nights that felt endless were spaces for my light to be born within you. You were never abandoned, only being realigned. You were never rejected, only redirected toward greater things. So walk with peace, for I am ahead of you and behind you, surrounding every step with divine purpose. You are part of something eternal, a plan too vast to be limited by what you see today. I am the author who has written every chapter with precision, and none of my words will return empty. Remember this truth whenever fear tries to whisper: I have never failed you, and I never will. Every challenge has been filtered through my wisdom, every delay has been wrapped in my timing. The winds that once terrified you will soon be the same winds that carry you forward. The tears that once fell in silence will soon shine as proof of what I've restored. The dreams you thought were buried are only resting, waiting for my command to rise again. What I began in your life, I will finish with glory. Trust that no season is wasted. Even your pauses are part of my rhythm. Every silence hides a voice of purpose, every shadow holds a reflection of my light. You do not need to understand everything to move forward, you only need to trust that I already do. I am not a God of confusion but of perfect order. While your mind searches for explanations, my heart is preparing manifestations. So breathe deeply, release the weight, and walk freely. For where you are going, fear has no power, and doubt cannot survive. You are walking through paths already blessed, through days already redeemed, and into victories already won. Stay faithful, for I have already gone before you, and I have left every step marked with my unfailing love. Because these words carry the heartbeat of eternity, they are a reminder that even when everything seems uncertain, I am already working in the unseen. Before the night turns into a new day, I have already arranged the first rays of dawn that will gently touch your face. Before fear has a chance to take root in your heart, I have already wrapped it in a quiet, unshakable courage. Before doubt whispers behind you, I have engraved truth along every step of your path. You have not been forgotten, you have been carefully chosen. When I design your future, I do not use uncertain sketches or fragile lines, I use firm strokes drawn by an everlasting love. I have seen your boldest steps being fulfilled in the very moments you felt weakest. You will find strength in the same places where you now feel unable. You will smile in places that once caused you fear. You will rest on paths that today still wound you. What now feels like rough ground to you is, for me, a blossoming avenue of fulfilled promises. No tear you've ever shed has been wasted, each one has fallen into sacred soil, becoming a seed that will bloom into a mature victory at the perfect time. I never allow pain to be meaningless, I turn every sorrow into a source of strength, every silence into an answer, every loss into liberation. While your eyes are limited to the present, mine see beyond the horizon. You see the obstacle, but I have already prepared the green field that lies just after it. When you think you've reached the end, I am already on the other side, calling your name, inviting you to keep walking, reminding you that there is far more to discover. Do not close a story that I am still writing. It is I who open doors that no one can shut. While you try to understand how the pieces will ever fit together, I have already composed them into a masterpiece. Where you see scattered fragments, I see divine harmony. Nothing is random, everything is held within my hands. You are not walking on unknown ground, you are stepping upon paths I have already walked. When fear rises, remember that I was there first. When anxiety tries to suffocate your hope, remember that I crossed that same future before you and made it safe. I have already seen you winning battles that now seem insurmountable. I have already heard your words of gratitude, even before you have spoken them. I have already felt the joy you will experience when you finally understand that nothing was in vain. Do not fear what you have not yet lived. I am the one who transforms uncertainty into safety, waiting into miracles, silence into songs of victory. While you worry about tomorrow, I am decorating its every detail with blessings that will take your breath away. You think you walk alone in the darkness, but as you take each cautious step, I have already lit the path ahead. The road that now seems covered in shadows will one day be remembered as the very place where your faith grew strongest. Hidden victories lie in corners you cannot yet see. Promises have been planted in what looks like dry soil, waiting for their appointed moment to bloom. I never leave anything half done. When I begin, I finish. When I promise, I fulfill. When I plant, I bring forth fruit. Nothing I have established for you will be interrupted by time, fear, or circumstance. What I have written, no one can erase. What I have decided, no one can undo. You were created to overcome, even when everything appears to stand against you. Victory does not begin when the battle ends, it begins the moment I declare it yours, and I have already done so. Every step taken in faith is living proof of what has already been secured in my plan. Do not fear the journey, because the destination is already prepared. I know where you stumble. I know where exhaustion tries to stop you. But I also know exactly where your strength is reborn, where courage rises again, even when you think you have none left. In every fall, I was there, not as a distant observer, but as the one who reached down to lift you up. You are not walking into the unknown. You are walking into victories that I have already placed before you. Like a gardener who prepares the soil before planting, I have already prepared your tomorrow, even before you dreamed it. Your life is not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated narrative. Every person you meet, every opportunity that crosses your path, and even the hardest challenges, all are threads woven into a greater design. I have interlaced the fibers of your existence with those of others, creating a tapestry of meaning and divine timing. Where you see coincidences, I see divine appointments. Where you perceive interruptions, I have written sacred pauses necessary for your growth. Your path is not solitary, it is filled with souls destined to cross your journey, each one carrying a piece that contributes to the puzzle of your destiny. Faith is not the absence of questions, it is the certainty that every answer already exists within my heart. While you look for signs and confirmations, I am sealing promises in silence. I am not slow to fulfill what I have spoken, I am precise. My timing is perfect, even when it feels delayed to your human heart. You measure time by hours, but I measure it by purpose. Every moment of waiting refines your faith, every delay strengthens your roots. What seems like silence is actually the sound of divine orchestration happening behind the veil. You may think I am still preparing the way, but the truth is, the way has already been prepared. I am only preparing you to walk through it. I am shaping your character, refining your vision, and deepening your faith so that when the promise manifests, you will not only receive it but sustain it. Do not fear the process that builds you, it is my love in motion. You are being perfected, not punished. You are being strengthened, not forgotten. Every moment that confuses you will one day become a paragraph of revelation in the story of your victory. And when you finally look back, you will see that every moment of uncertainty was a bridge leading you closer to fulfillment. You will see that the tears you shed watered the soil of your miracles. You will realize that the seasons you called loss were actually seasons of unseen preparation. For I am not a God of randomness, I am a God of completion. I leave nothing undone, nothing half-shaped, nothing abandoned midway. When I began your story, I had already seen its glorious ending. What feels like a battle today will be the testimony of tomorrow. What weighs heavily on your soul will soon be transformed into the wings that lift you higher. I am writing chapters that will outshine every night you thought would never end. And when you stand on the other side of what once terrified you, you will not see chaos. You will see my fingerprints on everything. You will see how I used even the broken pieces to form something whole, how I used the pain to plant purpose, and how I turned what was meant to break you into the very thing that built you. So take courage, my beloved child. You are not behind, you are right on time, walking on sacred ground that I prepared long before the world began. Every breath you take is proof that I am still writing, still guiding, still holding you, and the story I am writing for you ends in victory. Do not fear what you cannot control, for I have already visited every tomorrow you worry about. I have written victories in the pages of your days, each carrying your name with precision and grace. The same spirit that sustains the galaxies sustains your steps. You were not created to survive merely, you were created to overcome. The weight you feel now will turn into wings, and the fog that clouds your path will soon reveal mountains conquered. When discouragement whispers, "You cannot," remember that I already saw you triumphant. When fatigue says, "It is over," I have already heard your laughter echoing from a new beginning. I do not simply walk beside you, I walk within you, transforming your fears into faith, your waiting into worship, and your uncertainty into unshakable trust. The unseen future is not dark, it is divine. So, lift your eyes, beloved. The story I am writing in you is far from over. Every sunrise carries a whisper of renewal, and every night sky holds proof that light always returns. Do not be anxious about what you cannot yet understand. Revelation comes with time, not with haste. I am aligning every detail to reveal my faithfulness in ways that will leave you in awe. When you finally stand on the other side of this journey, gratitude will overflow from your heart like a river. You will see how I transformed every loss into wisdom, every silence into song, every tear into testimony. You will understand that I never abandoned you. I was guiding you from ahead, shaping every turn and every chapter. The path is not uncertain, it is sacred. The ending is not tragedy, it is triumph. Walk forward with peace, for I am both the author and the finisher of your story, and I have never written a story that ends in defeat. With love, God. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.